Today we get to react to a video explaining youth parents what they have to do with their child in middle school to not miss the boat on having any chance to play college soccer in the United States. Let's see what we're going to learn here.
If you are in 6th or 7th grade, what should you be doing in order to play college soccer? This page is dedicated for 5th, 6th, and 7th graders in order to play college soccer. I know you think I'm crazy, but just hear me out. The first thing you should be doing is starting to record video. No, you're not going to be emailing schools. No, you're not going to be talking to any college coaches, but you should be making video.
The first thing that you should be doing if your child is in 5th, 6th, or 7th grade is make sure your child goes to bed on time, is to make sure that your child eats food that helps them overall grow their bodies, and make sure that your child's in an environment where they can actually improve their soccer skills. School in middle school is a very, very, very small part of soccer development, almost irrelevant for most kids that go to school. Club soccer and which team they're playing in and what they're doing for practice is significantly more relevant. So the ranking by school for me is interesting in this case, but also nobody cares about video from middle school. There's so much change and developing happening between middle school and high school. Bodies change, abilities change, just the focus of the kids can still change significantly, and the video footage of middle school really is not that interesting in comparison to the importance of their actual skill development through these years, which are crucial years for development overall.
Your social media should be up and running. You should start recording.
You do not need a social media account for your child playing soccer. That is a really bad use of time in comparison to, again, spending time on diet, spending time on understanding soccer as a game, and spending time at the right type of practice and game environments.
Mom and dad, time to get your phones out. You guys are going to do a really bad job at the beginning, but this is important. It's important because one day going to talk to you, not only need to see video.
When the coach wants to see video, he's going to watch the video footage, because when your child goes into middle school and plays on a very competitive team, or even especially in high school, games usually are filmed in the competitive level, and you can use that game footage from the video. You don't need to be there with your phone trying to tape your child's best goal as a 5th grader.
The reason it's important is you guys have to start practicing getting the best moments of your kids, because they're going to be really important later on, and you don't want to miss them when they are freshman, sophomore, junior, etc. We had a student commit to Duke, and they started in 7th grade the recruiting process.
Okay, so this person, one person committed to Duke, one person, his one example, and he's making an advice for 5th and 6th graders in general, while his one most extreme example is starting in 7th grade.
And they became the earliest ever player to get recruited to Duke.
Earliest ever player.
The process does start, believe it or not. So video is number one. Number two.
It's not number one.
Make your video. I want you to record horizontally to begin with. Later on, we will teach you how to record vertically and put it on.
Yeah, because the average American parent can't hold their phone vertically, so they can learn it in the course later on. This is
and everything else, but record horizontal. If you have a video or a trace, do that, and then also, of course, we can go through game video review and help your son or daughter become a better player, which is really important because most teams at your kid's age do not do game video review, and if you go abroad and you're looking at the Chelseas and the Manchester United, they all do game video review. Even them.
Game video review, I think, is a really good thing. It can really help kids' development. It can really help kids understand what is going on in the field, not just in their immediate circle, but on a larger scale. And they can spend a lot more time really thinking about the game.
Next teams do what's called individual player development. You probably have heard about the player, Mr. Calvin, who signed for Manchester City. They've been doing game video review with him because his whole family are pro soccer players.
Just because there's one thing that you could build in common with a player that becomes a professional soccer player or signed a professional contract does not mean that this one thing is the sole responsibility. And how he's phrasing the sentence makes it seem like because he was doing video reviews, he is now signed. These two things may correlate, may not correlate. It might be one small influential factor, but definitely it's not because of the sole reason. And this really makes it just seems like he wants to sell a course or like a subscription to video reviews, and uses this as a prop argument. So people are like, oh, he has been doing video reviews, so I must do it too, because otherwise I have no chance. And then it goes kind of into sales pitch later. So we'll see what happens.
So they've been doing game video review for a very long time. So if you want to compete with that, or you want to become that one day, you are going to need to have videos, that way we can watch your footage.
Yes, so exactly to that point, right? He goes in and says, if you want to be that, you have to do this, because otherwise you have no chance. But there's a lot more factors than just this one piece. That type of argument just does not make sense.
Finally, I want you going to middle school camps. You're not going to get recruited, they're not going to judge you, but you will understand what it means if you want to play college soccer. You'll understand the level of some other kids that you would have otherwise not been exposed to. And the people that run those camps are the college coaches. And I've seen it happen more than you can imagine, where the college coach goes, damn, you're really good for a 6th grader. There's nothing I can do about it right now, but like...
There's nothing I can do about it right now. That shows you exactly why it doesn't make sense to go there. If there's nothing they can do about it right now, who cares if the kid is really good in 6th grade or not? What really matters is that between 6th grade and 8th grade, you need to continue to get better and make progress if you want to become a college. And so the thing that bothers me so much about this video is that you will, if you're doing videos, filming your child or not filming your child, will it hurt your child's development? Maybe not if everything else stays the same. Probably it can be slightly beneficial. But the problem is it takes the attention away from the things that really, really matter. The highlight moment in your game in 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade is not what really matters. What matters is that you make better choices faster and you're able to execute them and you get a better understanding of the game as a whole and you continue to work on developing that. And I would argue that filming at this age might even draw a wrong focus on the highlight scenes, trying to get more of these highlight scenes instead of what actually makes them a better soccer player, which the coach is going to look at when picking the team, and which team you're on, and how that team is training and where that team is competing matters so much more, because your skills at a test or your best moment as a 6th grader is not going to get you into college soccer. What is when you are in freshman at high school, when you are in high school in your 2nd, 3rd year, these moments of what are your skill sets actually like at this point and what you're actually able to do is what college coaches are going to look at when they're reviewing your game footage, when you're at a college ID camp in high school, when you're in a situation where people might look at you. And they also will look at what type of team you're in, what you're competing in, and how you're performing in that competition. And so these things really matter, which is why middle school and elementary school, these are the building blocks to get to that point. And your development and your progress and your abilities and how they're progressing is what makes the difference, not your highlight moment that you can showcase at that specific age. And so if parents start to be focused on how to showcase their child at that age versus how do they empower their child to develop further as a player, then I would say filming your child and being focused on that might even take away from their development and not even help.